All right, let's go right into the lesson. So we are talking about the volume of pyramids today. Before we talk about how to find the volume of a pyramid, let's just review some key things about a pyramid. If we're talking about a regular square pyramid, when it says that it's regular, that means the base of the pyramid is a regular figure. So when they're saying a regular square pyramid, that means the base of this pyramid is a square. And the base, according to our diagram, which figure is the base according to the diagram? How would we name it? Not all at once. Don't be too excited. What's our base here looking at the diagram? Joe? Yeah, JKMO is our base. And if it says it's a regular square pyramid, that means JKMO must be a square. Oh, is the base. Sorry, is the base. And then let's write in parentheses, it's a square. Can somebody tell me, what is point P? What do you think we call that? Any guesses? Starts with a V. The vertex. P is the vertex. Now, we've discussed this now a couple of times throughout the year. We have PR versus PS. They both make right angles. But they're not both altitudes of the pyramid. Which one is the altitude of the whole pyramid? Is it PR or is it PS? Dimitri? PR. PR is the altitude. And what's special about PR is that it is the altitude. So it starts at the vertex, it goes straight down, it makes right angles with the base. But if you guys remember, every time we've discussed pyramids, I've told you not only is it the altitude, it connects to the center of that base. So that means from point R to the rim of the base means it's going to be half the length. So if JK is 10, R to S has to be 5. So not only is it the altitude, meaning it makes right angles, it also connects to the center point of the base. All right, so PS is another altitude, but it's not an altitude of the whole pyramid. It is only the altitude of the face of the pyramid. And remember, the faces are all triangles. So PS is an altitude of one of the faces. Does anybody remember what we call that? The altitude of one of the faces? Yeah, it is the slant height. So PS is the slant height. Now, PS is an altitude of one of the faces, but similar to the altitude of the pyramid, it connects to the center. So it's not only the perpendicular, it is the perpendicular bisector. So it also cuts that side in half. Right, PM, PK, PO, PJ. Basically the sides that make up the faces, the sides that make up those triangle faces, those are called the lateral edges. All right, note, a pyramid has only one base. The base may be any type of polygon. A pyramid is named by its base. We discussed this before. So if the base is a triangle, it's called a triangular pyramid. If the base is a hexagon, it's called a hexagonal pyramid. You name a pyramid by its base. All right, volume for a pyramid. Does anybody think they remember what the volume for a pyramid was? Metri? You got it, 1/3 that capital letter B times H, which represents 1/3 area of the base times the height of the whole pyramid. Okay, we ready? We keep going? All right, so here we have our regular square pyramid shown. We want to name the vertex. Actually, you guys name A, B, C, D, and E, and then hold it up for me. Or you don't have to hold it up. Just name them, and then we'll go over them. All right, let's go through this. The vertex is point E. The slant height in this diagram is the segment EG. The altitude is the height of the whole pyramid, that is segment EF. All lateral edges. So the lateral edges, remember, are the sides that make up the triangles. So EA is one lateral edge. ED is another lateral edge. EC is the third, and EB is the fourth. Right, the base is a square, and that's going to be ADCB. How many people got that all right? Great. All right, so for number 2, it says, given regular square pyramid shown, the slant height is 13. So in this diagram, which segment am I labeling as 13? You got it. EG is 13. We're going to need some other information. Am I missing something? Are you guys labeled with anything? Oh, it does say it's labeled. Okay, I didn't see that. Perfect. I'm like, this is not enough information. So over here, guys, I missed it. Thank you, Amanda. It says DC is 10. So because this is a regular square pyramid, if one side of the base is 10, do we agree that all the sides of the bases are also 10? Because all the sides of a square are congruent. So that means AD is also 10. All right, now let's keep going here. First thing we want to do is find AD. We did. That is 10. Now we want to find AG. We want to find AG. Well, do we all agree that EG is a slant height? And now the slant height is not only perpendicular to the base, what else does it do? It is the perpendicular what? Perpendicular bisector of that base. So if all of AD is 10, it's going to become 5 and 5. So AG is 5. Now we want to find GF. Now remember, let's go to EF. Do we agree that EF is the altitude of the whole pyramid? Now remember, the altitude of the whole pyramid not only makes right angles, it connects to the center of the base. So if F is the center of the base, from F to G has to be half the length. Well, the total length is 10, so half the length is 5. So GF is 5. And now we want to find the altitude of the pyramid. To find the altitude of the pyramid, I'm using this pink triangle right in here. Isn't this a triple? Yeah, what's the triple? 5 something 13. 12, good. All right, so now we want to find the volume. So the volume is going to be 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we are 1/3 side squared times the height of the whole pyramid. Well, the side of the base is 10, so we are 10 squared. What's the height of the whole pyramid? Is it 12 or is it 13? The height of the whole pyramid, 12 or 13? 12. It's the altitude of the whole pyramid. So now we are going to have, let's bring it up here, 1/3 times 100 times 12. Multiplication is commutative, so we don't have to multiply in order. So instead of doing 1/3 of 100, I'm going to take 1/3 of 12. So 1/3 of 12 is 4. 4 times 100 is 400 units cubed. All right, so here they're saying if the volume of a pyramid is 96 cubic units. So the minute I see volume and pyramid, I'm writing out the volume formula. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. And now they're saying the volume of the pyramid is 96. So in my formula, I'm going to replace that V with 96. So 96 equals 1/3. And then it's saying the area of the base is 36. Well, isn't that capital letter B represent the area of the base? So I have 1/3 times 36. That's the area of the base. And they're saying find the height. So times H. So I obviously have to solve for H. Well, we know 3 goes into 36 12 times. So we're going to have 96 is equal to 12H. We're going to then divide by 12 on both sides. And we get the height is equal to 8. All right, let's keep going. This time they're saying the slant height of the regular square pyramid is 25 and the perimeter of the base is 56. Find the volume. So the slant height, remember the slant height is the altitude of one of the faces. So they're saying this is 25. And they're saying the perimeter of the base is 56. But what shape is my base? What shape is the base? A square. And what do we know about all the sides of a square? They are congruent. So if the perimeter is 56, each side is going to be 56 divided by 4, which is 14. Now to find the volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. Well, if I know the base is a square, so the area of the base is side squared, and we need to find the height of the whole pyramid. So we're 1/3 14 squared times the height. I do not have the height. I need to find the height. How am I going to find the height? Well, doesn't the altitude connect to the center of the base? So from the center to the rim is half the length. If our full length is 14, what's half the length? 7. Isn't this a triple? We're looking at this inside triangle. What's the triple? 7 something 25. 24, you got it. So now our height is 24. So our volume is going to be 1/3. 14 times 14 is 196 times 24. I guess I'll just do 3 goes into 24 8 times. Did anybody multiply 196 times 8? Tell me what you get. No? Okay. I can't hear you. 1568. I'm going to trust you. 1568 units cubed. So now I'm shaking things up a little bit. Tell me, in number 5, how am I shaking things up? What have I done? It's a triangular base. So it says find the volume of a pyramid whose base is not just any triangle, it's an equilateral triangle with sides measuring 8 and whose height is 15. All right. So volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. But this time our base is an equilateral triangle. Who remembers the formula for an equilateral triangle? Numbers, Jeff? You got it, S²√3/4. And then we need it times the height of the whole pyramid. Oh, I wrote a half, that's 1/3. 1/3, now our side lengths for this base, they're showing us are 8. So we're 8²√3/4. Did they tell us the height of the whole pyramid? They sure did. They said whose height is 15. So we don't need to find that. The height is 15. So our volume will be 1/3 times 64√3/4 times 15. Well, now I can divide 64 and 4. So I'm going to simplify that. So my volume is 1/3 16√3 times 15. So because multiplication is commutative, I'm not going to take 1/3 of 16. I'm going to take 1/3 of 15 and get 5. So now our volume is going to be 16√3 times 5, which is going to be 80√3 units cubed. All right, one more together, then one on your own, and then we're done. So given the regular square pyramid, so we're back to a square pyramid, the slant height is 10, so I'm going and I'm labeling my slant height as 10. Oh, being sneaky here, the base diagonal not shown is 12√2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the side, I'm going to draw the base, and draw the diagonal, which is 12√2. Find the length of one side of the base. Well, I can do this using my base and the base diagonal. Do we agree the base is a square because it said it's a regular square pyramid? What you all need to remember is that the diagonals of a square split it into 45, 45, 90 triangles. And then you also need to remember that in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, we are x, x, and then the hypotenuse is x root 2. So here we have x root 2 equals 12 root 2. We are solving for x, so we divide by root 2 on both sides, and we get x is equal to 12. So this is 12, and this is 12, which means all the sides are 12. So when it says find the length of one side of the base, the length of one side is 12. Now we need to find the altitude. In order to find the altitude, I'm going to use this pink triangle right in here. In this pink right triangle, I know the hypotenuse is 10. Can somebody tell me what's the bottom side of this right triangle? How long is it and why? So this side I'm highlighting in. How long is that side? And how do you know? Michael, how long is that side and how do you know?
I think it's 6.
It is 6. Why?
Because it is half the side length that is like.
Good, because the altitude connects to the center, it's half the side length. Guys, this is a triple times 2. What's the missing side? 8, good. So the altitude of the pyramid is 8. So now I'm asking to find the volume. Well, volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. My base is a square, so we're 12 squared times the height we just found is 8. So volume will equal 1/3 times 144 times 8. Let's see. 3 goes into 144 48 times. Does that sound right to you? All right, and then can somebody multiply 48 times 8? Tell me, what did you get? Oh, buddy.
384. I did it in my head.
384. I don't know. We can see. Anybody else get 384? All right, we got it. Yes, 384 units cubed. All right, guys, you do number 7, and then we're done. Well, after we go over it, we're done. right, let's go on. Let's go over this. It says the perimeter of the base of the regular square pyramid is 24. That's our starting point. Well, we know the base is a square, so if the perimeter is 24, we're going to do 24 divided by 4, so each side has a side length of 6. It's saying the slant height is 5, so we have to remember the slant height is the altitude of one of the faces, and we want to find the volume. So volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. Well, our base is a square, so to find the area of the base, it's side squared times the height. So we're 1/3 6 squared, and now we need the height. The height of the pyramid is not 5. The slant height is 5, so we need to figure out what we're going to do to find the altitude height. So I'm going to use this pink triangle, and we're going to remember that the altitude connects to the center, so it's half the length. So from there to the rim is 3. This ends up becoming a triple, a 3, 4, 5 triple. The height is 4. So our volume is going to be 1/3 times 36 times 4. 3 goes into 36 12 times. 12 times 4 is 48 units cubed. How many people got that? Perfect. All right, so we are done for today. I'm going to post your homework. You can pretty much get your homework done if you wanted to.